So Mission Impossible 4 is Ghost Protocol, released in 2011. And it's when the franchise really went full spectacle. Directed by Brad Bird, who you may know from The Incredibles. This is his first live-action feature film after Incredibles. So it's really good that, they've used these incredible directors. So they had, obviously, Brian De Palma on the first one. They had John Woo, the second one. And they had J.J. Abrams on the third one. And Abrahams comes back with his production company Bad Robot to co-produce this with Tom Cruise's company. And ultimately, Brad Bird was brought on to do this feature film. And it's pretty cool. They've got some great sort of pieces around the Kremlin, where they infiltrate the Kremlin. They've got an amazing piece where they literally, Tom Cruise is climbing up the Burj Khalifa, the biggest tower in Dubai, which is incredible. And he's like literally climbing outside it. And I think he did that stunt for real. So how it works is the film is basically based around IMF being disavowed under Ghost Protocol, and Cruise is left with a sort of stripped down team, including introduction of Jeremy Renner, Paula Patton, to this existing guy Simon Pegg. And Luther does make an appearance, but towards the end of the film, because he's in every Mission Impossible film. And this one seems to be less about spy sort of intrigue, more kind of pure, massive cinematic effects. I mean, the Burj Khalifa climb was nuts. The Dubai sandstorm chase is incredible. And also the Kremlin bombing sequence is also really interesting, how they filmed it. And it's pretty chaotic, but it's shot like a very, very high end. And I think this is how the franchise goes into more kind of massive cinematic pieces. That from then on, they made more and more kind of higher end sort of stunts and cinematic pieces in the films. And they even had a bit in Mumbai at the end where they have to go to a vertical kind of automated kind of car park. And they kind of have to do the last sort of fight in there, which is kind of interesting. Anil Kapoor's also in it. He's a legendary Bollywood actor. But I didn't really like some of the acting in it. I think Anil Kapoor was a bit over the top. Paula Patton was a bit over the top. I didn't really like how they act. But the others were okay. I mean, Renner's pretty cool in it. Tom Cruise actually climbed the world's tallest building with wires. And they shot it in IMAX to emphasise the scale. But it was pretty impressive piece. Brad Bird brought a bit of animation kind of logic into it. You can feel it's like shot like an animated film in a way, like a Pixar film. And obviously the Kremlin scene was very controversial because Russia wasn't that happy with the depiction of their famous landmark kind of getting destroyed in the film. Renner, kind of almost became the new lead. There's a quiet plan to kind of move the franchise away from Cruise, but it didn't really happen. So Cruise is still the lead, although Renner's close kind of second sort of action lead. And what I like about it is that they rely on the tech so much, but in this film the tech actually fails quite a lot, which is sort of creates tension. It's kind of cool. And they made the sandstorm with sort of massive sort of filmmaking wind rigs and practical debris, not just CGI. So it really works well in the scene. So yeah, a lot of like massive sort of stunts, global locations, more of a kind of ensemble kind of cast versus lone wolf that Tom Cruise against the world kind of thing. And I kind of like it. And this is almost like the bridge between the old school spy thriller and the Macquarie era that follows. I kind of like it. I think it kind of found its identity through this film, and it sort of the big spectacle kind of things, and it kind of became the sort of big beast that it is now, that for later films. And I like the fact that they kind of introduced the syndicate at the end, which obviously takes over sort of much of the kind of following few films after this. So yeah, big stunts, real locations, team dynamics. And the Burj Khalifa is still one of the greatest stunts ever pulled on screen, without question. So that's Mission Impossible 4, or what they call Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. It's available. What gets annoyed a little bit, I get annoyed about on Amazon, is that they don't really have all the Mission Impossibles. They've kind of allowed people to watch with Prime, 1, 2 and 3. And then this one, number 4 and 5, you have to subscribe to Paramount, which is a bit more money, Paramount Plus. It's like an add-on to Prime. And then I think the last, so that's 4 and 5. I believe 6 might be available too. And then you got 7 and 8, I think. The latest ones, I think they're basically, is it Dead Reckoning Part 1 and 2? They're basically, I think you might have to buy those. So annoying a little bit. I mean, it would have been nice if they just showed all of the Mission Impossible, films, so we could just sort of watch them all, but obviously not. So this is MI4 Ghost Protocol. Go and check it out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Oh, and just to add, there's also a little surprise appearance at the beginning and during the film by the guy who played, forgot the name of the actor, but the guy who played Sawyer in Lost, I think. Yeah, so that was kind of cool that he turned up in it as well. I mean, he's a good actor. One of the favourites and sort of TV actors, and he kind of turns up as a little kind of part, couple of parts in the film. So that was also cool.